Well, you might be wondering why an endangered Mexican wolf would have been vasectomized in the first place. I mean, if these animals are really in trouble and we only have a few species samples left in the zoo world, why would they be vasectomized? Well, it's obvious that the zoo world only has very, very limited space, and there is a very tight international control about how many of these animals can breed. So contraception they have to have in the zoo world in order to prevent complete overpopulation of these animals that the zoos just do not have spaces for in captivity. But this contraception must be reversible and it must not alter behavior. So right away, hormonal contraception is a problem because it could alter behavior. And vasectomy is a problem because we need something reversible, because an animal who has a wide representation genetically in the population of the zoo world at one time, 10 years later, suddenly may have very poor representation. So to maintain genetic diversity, we have to be able to have reversible contraception. And vasectomy actually seems to be about the most reliable reversible contraception we have for the zoo world, as long as the veterinarians who take care of these animals are trained in techniques that we've been using on humans for the last 40 years. And by the way, they wouldn't even let us do these procedures on their very precious animals until they knew we had done at least 10,000 humans ourselves. So here you can see in a canine rehab center on the East Coast a very endangered Mexican wolf who had been vasectomized and had not been of great genetic value in the population as determined by the SSP, is now extremely valuable and needs to breed in order to help the zoo world maintain this population of wolves that are dying off very, very, very quickly because of the usual problems in growing population areas where wolves are hunted or killed, or there just is no habitat or space left for them. So this animal had been vasectomized solemnly, and our job was to reverse the vasectomy, and we do it on both sides. Usually the facilities at these canine centers and in most zoos are not going to be quite as spectacular as what we're used to in human hospitals, and we have to make do with microscopes and equipment that is very basic often. But it is remarkable how successful that we can be with these endangered animals in their zoo environments, sometimes not even inside. Sometimes they don't even have a hospital, and we have to do this right out in the field after they've been darted and tranquilized and laying out in an open field. So the conditions can be marginal, but you can see that we can nonetheless get really perfect vasectomies and restore the fertility of these animals back to normal. So we use the same techniques that were proven on humans in over 10,000 cases at our center in St. Louis. And in fact, we wouldn't be allowed to operate on these very precious animals unless they knew we had tried it first successfully on 10,000 humans. Sounds humorous, but that is just how precious these animals are in the zoo world, where they're disappearing rapidly from the wild kingdom. And the major job of zoos now is not even so much to entertain children, but is to preserve these animals that otherwise will soon be extinct.